Bismillah. Ladies, imagine this. Your 5-year-old child runs to you excitedly after swimming class, and suddenly the instructor yells angrily at him. What would you do? I'll tell you exactly what I did and what happened next, and the 2 key takeaways from this incident. But before we start, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do. Stay with me till the end of the video to receive 73% discount on my mini course, Your Path to Lasting Calm. One of the subscribers will be getting it completely free as well, inshallah. So, my son goes to swimming classes. That day, once his lesson was over, he saw me waiting for him. And in his excitement, he forgot the rules. And the rule was that he was supposed to be in line with all the other kids, and then the instructor would take them to the parents. Slowly, no running. It's all for the safety of the children. My child is only 5, so the rules make sense. But that day, he saw me in his excitement. He quickly wanted to come to me, so he got out of the swimming pool and hurried towards me. And at this point, the swimming instructor obviously had to raise her voice. She called him. And for privacy reasons, let's say my son is Ahmed. So she said loudly, "Ahmed, come back." Now, till here was okay. But what happened next is what I had issue with as a mother. I was not expecting it. So my son stops in his tracks and looks at the instructor. Her eyes were wide and her face was tightened. And with a sharp, cutting voice, she said, "Ahmed, what do you think you're doing? Where do you think you're going?" Her tone wasn't just loud, it was filled with anger. At this point, my son was wet and shivering. She proceeded to angrily explain the rules to him. I was watching it by the gate. Their voices grew inaudible to me. However, I could see her big gestures, her hard expressions. And I looked at my son. His little face was startled and frightened. And I thought to myself, oh, there was no need for that. A calm reminder was enough. Why this aggression? I was a teacher myself, and I believe if you're unable to stay in control, if you get easily triggered, and you give in your impulses to yell and be aggressive, you have no business taking a job with kids. You have no business being around kids in a professional setting. Back to the story. She proceeded to explain to my son in an aggressive way to follow the rules. And my son immediately complied. I couldn't do much at that point because my son was there with his siblings, and as soon as they all came out, I had to quickly attend to them. They were wet, so I had to dry them and dress them. However, I didn't ignore her behavior. I made sure to complain about the incident. And that should have been the end of it. Except when I brought my kids in for their next lesson, the instructor was there waiting for me. And she said, "If you had a problem with me, why didn't you come to me directly?" In any confrontation, it is a good idea to always state facts and don't be accusatory. So I told her I couldn't come directly to you because I had my kids to attend to at that time. Then she started explaining, I wasn't rude to your son. I wasn't yelling at him. I'm just naturally loud. And I explained to her from my perspective, okay, this is what I saw happen. And I told her, everyone can detect a difference between being just loud and then being loud with aggression. Your facial expression showed it. Your eyes widened. And if I was in the place of my son, I would have been terrified of you, myself. Well, at that point, I was hoping she'd apologize. However, she kept denying that she ever yelled. Then finally, we agreed to disagree. I told her from what I saw, this is the impression I got. She didn't accept my version of it, and that is to be expected. There will always be people who will not admit their mistake. And you might think that the entire interaction was unfruitful, since she didn't admit and didn't apologize for her mistake, that I didn't gain anything, but I gained something subtle. I showed her that I'm not afraid to stand up for myself or my kids, that I do have a backbone. And from then on, I saw a change in her. The way she handled my children, the way she treated them, she was careful, she was respectful, and she made sure to be gentle even when she had to be loud. Ladies, here are my 2 takeaways. Number 1, use your voice. Many women, when feel hurt, either swallow their feelings, they endure and endure and endure until they can't endure anymore. It becomes unbearable. Then they just leave. They quit. Be it their job, be it their kids' activity, their kids' school, their classes, their projects, or a friend group. When they feel they can't take it anymore, they just leave, all the while thinking to themselves that they are the ones in the right. They have been very tolerant. They have been very patient. And the other person has been the villain. When in reality, that is not the case. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran, فَمَنْ عَفَى وَأَصْلَحَ فَأَجْرُهُ عَلَى اللَّهِ. So whoever forgives and does islah, the betterment, then those are the people whose reward is on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Allah will reward them sufficiently. But see how Allah mentions forgiveness with islah. So if you're being tolerant while trying to do islah, then you're the good guy. But if you've not tried to do islah at all, and you've taken the coward's way of being quiet and then quitting, that's not islah at all. And that's not tolerance. And that's not the real sabr. All of this hurt and pain could have been prevented had they used their voice, had they communicated their feelings in an appropriate way, had they confronted and not been an easy target. Many good-hearted ladies, when faced with a similar situation, just stay quiet, don't cause trouble. Why? Because we as women are prone to people-pleasing more than men. We avoid confrontation. We fear being disliked. We silence ourselves even when our hearts are burning. When you don't speak, people don't assume you're kind, they assume you're weak. When you don't set boundaries, people don't admire your patience. They simply walk all over you. The quiet ones are the easiest victims. The swimming instructor may not have accepted and apologized. At least she knew to be careful. And that's all I care about, to be honest. Ladies, anybody with abusive tendencies would always look for the easiest target, who's going to remain silent, not cause a fuss, not cause a scene. And if they feel that their target might not be quiet about it, then they will go find some easier target. So don't be the target, don't be the victim. The second takeaway is, ladies, don't ever let anybody mistreat your children. You are their protector after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I have no doubt that you would do whatever it takes to protect them from the mistreatment of others. But the real question is, are you ready to protect them from yourselves as well? From your anger, from your mistreatment, and being a mother. I know how hard it is to do, especially if you yourself grew up in a chaotic environment with some triggers of your own. However, Prophet ﷺ said, كُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ, that each of you is responsible for their flock. It is about time we took ownership of our own actions, regardless of how we feel. It's about time we stopped blaming our actions on people around us, on our childhood, or our circumstances. All of these things do have an effect. But as an adult, you're responsible for your own healing. You're responsible for learning the skill. You can heal from your triggers. You can learn new coping mechanisms. You can learn new skills. You can have a mindset shift to put you all the right direction. And I have condensed all of that in one mini course called Your Path to Lasting Calm. And if you're ready to invest your time, effort, and money to become a better mother, then I have an exclusive offer for you. This is a unique opportunity for you to get 73% off. The discount will be there for a short time. Once it's gone, it's gone. And the discount code is the word special, all capitals. Click the link in the description and join today. And to receive this course absolutely free, and all you have to do to enter the draw is to mention one incident where you either stood up for yourself or you didn't stand up for yourself, and what was the impact of that. Any positive or negative story that leads to an empowering message is admissible in the draw, and the winner will be announced after 3 days, bi'idhnillah.